video we are going to be doing some art journal pages or altered book pages in our altered book. So in the previous video we made these pocket pages, and the previous video to that we made this curiosity box page. So today we're just going to be doing a more basic page, which is just a basic decorated page. You can decorate your book however you want to do. I'm just going to show you how you can create texture and different effects on your pages. So to start off with, I've got two reinforced pages. This one is the reverse of the cover, and this one is a page that we made in a previous video, which has 3 individual sheets stuck together. So we have 2 reinforced pages, and prior to this video I have covered the pages with a layer of white gesso primer, and this is just so that you can use all sorts of different mediums on it and it won't bleed through the paper. It just gives a nice surface to start working on. So to start off with, I'm going to do some texture on my page using some stencils, and also I'm going to use some paper and scrap papers just to add a bit of texture and dimension to the page. So all I'm going to do to start off with is rip up some papers. This is like old newsprint paper that has been jelly printed on. These are just the scraps left over from that, and that gives quite a nice texture. I've got some paper from packaging. I'm going to crinkle that up a bit and that'll give some more texture. I've got some old music paper, some lined paper that's been coffee dyed, and I've also got a sheet of this paper. This is from my curiosity box kit on Etsy, and I'll put a link to that down below. So I think I'll just put a little bit of that on as well. So to stick these onto the page, you can use whatever you have. I've got just some general PVA, or you can use like these gel mediums to stick things down. So I think I'm going to try that. I'm just going to put some of this gel medium on my page and stick my bits and bobs down. So once you're happy with that, then you can start adding texture using some stencils. I have an array of stencils and I've also got this, which is actually a plate, or like a die cut plate, and use something like this heavy structure gel or this moulding paste, and to apply that I'm going to be using a spatula. So to start off with, I'm just going to put some of this modelling paste on and just make some random designs along the edges. Doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, the more random it is, the better. And I'm going to do the same for the other side, I think. Okay, so you've got a nice bit of texture going on around the corners. And then I think I'm going to use a different stencil in the middle. I think I'm going to go for one of these alphabet stencils. And just to change things up, I'm going to use this heavy structure gel. And that adds a nice bit of texture. And then I'm going to be using this medium grain gel, which is similar to the other gels, but it has got a slightly grainy texture. So I'm just going to put some of that around the edges. It's almost like a sandy type texture. Some random bits in the middle as well. So now you've got plenty of texture on your page. You can use whatever you want to make texture. You could put string on there, you could put little bits of beads, things like that will stick in the heavy structure gel. So now I'm just going to go and dry this with the heat blower. Right, so now that that's dry, you can start and add some colour onto your background. So if you didn't want your paper's colours to shine through, you just wanted the texture of the paper, you can always paint over it with a thin layer of white gesso primer, and then you would get a white surface, but you'd still have the texture coming through. But I'm going to leave mine with the colour coming through as well. I'm going to start off by using these acrylic inks to add colour to mine. And I just have some water in a spray bottle. And and it's all about just experimenting. I don't know what this is going to look like, but let's give it a go. So I'm going to start off with some yellow, and I'm going to wet my page a little bit and just pop some yellow paint down. Randomly, and I think I'll go for some red as well. I'm going to add a bit of spray to this so that the colours start blending together, and I'm just going to keep dropping a bit more colour on. And I'm just going to let it cool and run across my page. And as you can see, it will fill in all around the texture. So I'm just going to leave that to dry for a moment before we add the next layer. So that's dried a little bit now, and then I'm going to use some darker colour around the edges. So again, I'm just going to wet the surface. I'm going to use this blue around the edges. And maybe even a little bit of black. And once again, I'm going to go and dry this. While that's drying, I'm just going to cut out a few bits and bobs that I think I want to put on my journaling page. So this is some fussy cuts from my curiosity box kit, and I'm just going to cut out a few of the images that I think I might want to use in my page. stick anything to my page, I'd like to add a bit of a golden sheen to it. So I'm going to use this golden acrylic paint, and I'm going to use a brush. I'm going to use this fan brush, which has got very soft bristles. I'm just going to very lightly brush over the raised parts of my image so that it catches on the texture and adds a kind of golden sheen to it. But it doesn't cover up the other colours. So once that's dry, you're free to decorate it. You could always just leave it like that. It looks pretty cool. But I think I'm going to put some little figures and things on mine. Just to add a bit of interest. I want to add a bit more to mine, so I'm going to make a couple of altered tags to put on my journaling page as well. So again, these tags are available in my curiosity box kit on Etsy if you want them. So I've cut out a couple of the tags here. I'm just going to stick a few bits on to my tags. And in a very similar vein, decorate them and add texture like I did to my book page. I quite like the idea of having somewhere to write in this, so I'm going to put a few pieces of coffee dyed paper in as little journaling spaces. So I'm going to attach these tags, and I'm going to ink up my page as well, distress it a little bit, and then I think we'll be finished. Right, so there you have it, a finished journal page. So I use this golden acrylics paint. Not sure what colour it is. Just to add some definition around the edges and to distress it. And I distressed some of the white images. Added some paper so that you can do some journaling on it. You can also journal on the back of these little tags, and you could also journal on the images as well. Please let me know if you do attempt to make a journal page like this one using any of the products that I've shown you, such as modelling pastes. I'd love to see what you've got up to, and I will see you again soon. Bye.